try to ignore the camera as well because I don't want to look at the camera.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, but if I'm saying something to the people, I won't say it to the big one, I'll say it to this one.
Yeah, there you go. That's your,
If we do the
that's
camera
your in
one.
cam.
It's recording. Sorry. Let me just compose myself.
So here we are. Give me a mic check.
Mic check.
Give me one.
Mic check.
Yeah, I got you. Mic check. Right, cool.
I like that one.
Right, we're starting now.
Mic check. Alright, let's go.
Right, while we're waiting for it to go on, we're going to introduce ourselves.
Yep.
Can you give me your crumbler?
Nah,
Yeah,
bro, I was looking for it,
don't worry.
Or just
Right,
do it manual.
I think we're recording.
Yeah? All of the cameras.
I think we are.
It looks like, yeah, they all got a red dot.
No, we're recording now. Right, we start now.
Oh, that's the audio.
Right. It's Eags. Big Eags. Ego. You get me? 2Gs. I'm introducing myself, and this is my podcast. It is called The Community Outpost. And I'm with my honourable friend, my colleague and co-presenter, AV.
AV. It's an honour
Say
to
hello
be
to
here,
the camera,
man.
man.
My name's AV. I'm here with my honourable friend. It's an honour to be here, man.
100%. Like, so boom, we've been talking already.
Yeah.
But, like, for the cameras, like, we're just gonna take.
We're gonna fill you guys in a little bit.
Yeah, man. We're here about knowledge. We're here for. If you don't know what I represent, I'm a semi-activist, but I'm not an activist, and I like to stand for truth and honour in what I do, and with that said, I made this podcast, and the name, I think, kind of represents what I'm trying to do, which is a community outpost, somewhere where people can come to find out knowledge if they need it, and make sure they don't get lost with non-truthful ideologies and stuff like that. So with that being said, I think the first thing that I'll be touching on is the truth and integrity of people and things and knowledge and information, the broad spectrum of truth and integrity. I think it's a very important topic, and even though this is a demo and stuff like that, like for us to understand what our podcast is going to represent, I think it's a very, very important topic to first start on. Just due to the fact that there's a lot going on right now with truth and facts and them being twisted and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. It's
So-
all getting confused. There's a lot of cloudiness. The truth is being clouded.
100%.
So even when you find something that you think is the truth, you're like, it's a glimpse of it, and you don't even know. When you see through the clouds are just clouding it up.
Yeah. It's very foggy. I agree with you. I believe that there's not enough responsibility at the top to clarify information.
Yeah, because now it's being clarified by things that you don't know if they're reliable or not.
Exactly.
So
Especially
even the
government.
clarification's not reliable, and we don't have. It's almost like it's been kind of lost in translation.
Yeah, manipulated even.
Yeah.
And that's because of our
It's
government.
mad though.
But yeah, I'll be honest with you, that's our government that's caused problems with that, holding back information from us, not showing us what's right. I think all of these things add to the fact that truth and integrity has been blurred now.
Yeah.
It's been lost in communication, like you said. And like, do you want to pull up? Just pull it up, man. Like we said, we're always going to pull something up, won't we?
What, the definition?
Yeah, let's pull up the definition of integrity.
Let's do that one first.
All right.
Integrity.
Integrity. Steadfast adherence to the strict moral or ethical code.
Ooh.
Another one is the state of being unimpaired soundness. The third one, the quality or condition of being whole or undivided completeness.
I kind of like that. I think the first one, where it's just like where you stick to the moral code. That's what I would have guessed it, or something like that.
I want to touch on moral code later on in this podcast if we can do, but I think you're right. And I remember when Nipsey Hussle said on his thing, he goes, integrity is what you do when nobody else is looking.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're not doing it for some kind of to get something in return, some kind of benefit. You're doing it because that's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
And, well, if you're doing it for yourself, you're not going to cheat yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not going to cheat yourself out.
No, but that's a good one. Yeah, what you do when no one's watching. Oh. Because you see that a lot of people do something and then they make sure that everyone saw it, just so they're like, yeah, make sure you remember what I done.
Giving a homeless person money,
or just like things like that. They just wanna. You can tell when someone's trying to make sure that everyone saw what they did. Because it's like they want. A lot of times they want something in return or something.
Why do you think that is? That's what I was gonna say. Why do you think?
I think, but they want something in return, or they want to make sure that it goes noticed. Like, I get why someone might want it not to go unnoticed, but at the same time, if you're willing to do it, then I feel like you should be willing for it to go unnoticed.
Of course, or even not even get a thank you for it, really.
Yeah, just let it go unnoticed. But yeah, that's the thing, man. Because I do get why people feel underappreciated when they do a lot of things for people and then they don't appreciate it. So then, yeah, you might want it to at least go noticed. But it's a difficult one, like, yeah. Where do you draw the line? Because it's like, you do want to, like, you want to feel appreciated for what you do.
Well, everyone does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either, like.
No.
But yeah, there is definitely a line where it's like, okay, now you're not doing this because you actually think it's the right thing to do. You're doing it because you want something in return.
100%, or you're trying to get some sort of self-gratification.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
So some people, sometimes it's not for outside, it's not external. Sometimes it's for their own egotistical reason. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Just for validation, kind of.
Well,
like,
yeah, sort
from
of
themselves,
like
though.
Yeah.
Like when you validate yourself by doing something.
I'm a good person. I'm gonna help this person out. Oh, what a good person I am.
Oh, so that's not even when no one's, because then in that case no one's watching, but they're watching themselves in that way, thinking, oh, let me do it so I feel like
it's egotistical, isn't it? It's for that ego.
Yeah, this is deep though, because now it's like, oh, no one's even watching, but you're watching yourself like in that way.
Tapped. I was about to say to you, it's a bit tapped still. It's a bit tapped. Right, so that leads us on to like the actual person and the subject, right? So now we're talking about the advocator of truth. Because now we're talking about the subject, the actual person who is holding that moral thing, that moral presence. And they're not around no one, but they're egotistical in themselves, yeah. So they're looking for an egotistical boost, which gives them self-gratification, yeah? Right. Yeah. So the advocator for truth is different to having an integrity or being truthful. Because look, I'll Google what truth means.
You mean because advocating the truth is like basically advocating for it?
Yeah, you're
not actually practicing what you preach, are you saying? Because you could be an advocate of truth. No, I'm saying that
you are practicing.
But you are practicing.
If you're an advocator of truth, it means that everywhere you go, you are actively acting in that way. You are looking for truth. You are full in your truth. So, like we were saying earlier, sometimes we're quite sincere people that advocate truth.
Yeah.
And that can rub people up the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely.
And sometimes they can make you the enemy because
I'm the enemy.
Yeah, because they don't want you to show their demons and their flaws.
Because when you shine a light on something, it exposes it, and
exactly.
it was comfortable sitting in the dark, not being exposed. And then when you shine a little light on it, like, very what have we got here? What have we got here? Now it's all running away to hide. It doesn't want to.
That word, comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah,
comfortable is not always. Yeah, it's not always in the light that it sounds.
No, it's not.
Yeah, sometimes people can be comfortable in the wrong settings. You know,
100%, bro. Yeah, definitely.
Right, so truth says comfortability. No, we
What?
keep on doing this, you know,
Wait,
bro. We always
You
do
said comfortability?
this. We always do this. Comfortability to fact or actually.
Whoa.
Reality actually. The third one is the reality of a situation. I'd agree with that as well.
Yeah, I think reality of a situation. Yeah, that's a good one.
Relates to it more.
Yeah. And that could be like a small situation or a big scale, like any scale you want it. Like if you say the truth of whatever, like literally the truth of the universe, that's still a situation. So a situation works.
It works.
I think
It
that
works
works
broadly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the problem with being an advocate of truth is sometimes like I said before, you end up shining the light on people and then they scurry to like demons in the corner.
Because it burns them.
Burns them, innit? Because they're
Yeah,
not
the
ready
light
to.
is
It's
not-
cognitive dissonance, what we've been using.
It's
This
not
is
like the
word of the
sunlight.
month.
The sunlight is nice and warm on your skin, but this kind of light is not.
Well, if you haven't been
if you've been in the
conditioned
dark,
for the sun,
then it's painful.
This is what I'm saying. If you're not conditioned for the light, then you end up being in a situation where you're
It's
not
too
used
uncomfortable.
to being accountable for your actions or where you stand or where you sit. So you end
Yeah,
up.
you're way more comfortable in the dark.
Yeah, exactly that, man. Exactly that. I mean, I got
But
some notes
advocating
here.
the truth, you see what you were saying about as an advocator of truth, that's the kind of stance that you take.
Yeah.
And I've noticed this year, being an advocator of the truth, I think sometimes you have to be sparing with how you use the truth, and sometimes you have to lie in order to be an advocator of truth, because sometimes you have to protect the truth, and then if you don't lie, then you expose the truth to someone who is gonna be jeopardizing the truth in the long run. So you gotta play the game by like protecting the truth from the people that are not
worthy of it.
maybe worthy, or that are fighting against, because some people are fighting against the truth.
No, I get you.
So if someone's fighting against
I
the
didn't really
truth,
think about that. Yeah, you've opened up a new perception for me. Still there.
yeah, if someone's fighting against the truth, then you giving them the truth is ammunition. So you're giving that. So then you've actually got to be a liar sometimes, but you got to know who to lie to and why you're doing it.
And why you're doing it.
Yeah, because I'm not just out here like lying to people unless there's actually a real reason.
Yeah, no, I feel that. No, I feel that still.
Or they might not be attacking even against the truth. Just they might just put it in jeopardy. Like, you know, when someone knows the truth but they don't know how to handle the situation. And if they know, then they might try to do something and fuck up the situation
Yeah,
because you told them something.
because they're trying to protect themselves in some sort of sense. They're
Yeah,
protect
or
their
they want to
life.
help, or sometimes they, yeah, like I've just seen like they might, if you tell them the truth, then they're thinking, oh shit, I want to help, I want to do something, but it's gonna fuck it all up.
Yeah.
So then you just don't tell
So
them.
you almost don't. It's like an employee.
But
that's
more
not
time,
good enough.
yeah, I think there's lying and then there's lying. Like,
So there's holding back truth in.
yeah, if it doesn't
protection
affect
of
their life,
others.
like if you're not if it's not gonna affect your life, not knowing the truth, then me lying to you isn't really a lie. It's only a lie if I'm manipulating something that actually concerns you. Because if it
Or
actually
they're like,
doesn't
no,
affect,
man.
I know, but bro, this is deep. Like I've done
But
this.
in your truth, I guess
I
I get
know.
what you mean.
Nah,
If
it's
you're
deep,
in your
yeah.
truth, so there's truth and there's being in your truth. Understanding that this person might not be ready to wake up yet. So if I tell them the truth about themselves, they might break down. So
that
sometimes
as well.
you might have to like
Yeah.
wean someone into a situation.
I think there's a lot of reasons
Yeah, there
why actually lying is sometimes the right thing to do. But I don't
I
like
wouldn't
doing
call
it.
it lying though.
Yeah, but it's not like it feels wrong. Like it's lying.
I
When you
get
say
what you
lying, it
mean.
feels wrong. But it's when you're just saying like let's say for example someone that I care about, someone that cares about me. They're asking me like, oh, how are you? Like, are you good? This, that, the other. I'm just telling them I'm good, man. Something might be happening. I'm going through it. I'm handling it. But them knowing this is actually not helping them, and it's not helping me. So I'm actually better off just saying to them, no, I'm good. Everything's good. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, I feel you now. All right,
You know
now
that,
I
yeah.
understand what you're saying. I get it.
Because
now,
that's
I get
not,
it now.
that doesn't actually, I mean, maybe it does concern them because they're concerned about me. So maybe it does concern them, but I think sometimes it's better off just like,
No, I feel you still. I feel you. So just getting some levels ready here because I'm a bit loud. I'm a bit low. I've been quiet there. Alright, no, I feel you still. I mean, I went for pros and cons of being a advocator of truth, but I think we just kind of covered that slyly.
Pros and cons. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we could probably just go through. We could go through each pro and each con and go into detail.
So maybe later on we'll go through that or something. But
what's should we try to set out the main ones? Like, wait.
Go on. I was going to move on to something else, but do you want to go through them? Because I think we kind of went.
Because we could just list them, or whatever ones we can think of, and then we don't have to go into any detail on each of them. Just say it like this is one pro.
Alright, cool. Say 3 each then.
Okay, cool.
3 pros.
So start with pros. Let me think of a pro. Or 3 each. Yeah, there's quite a lot. So
being an advocator of truth, being someone who holds value in truth and holding that principle to others
and takes on the responsibility, because then you know what I think, the first one I can think of is that when you're actually a responsible advocate of the truth, I think God trusts you with the truth and he shows it to you, and then when he shows it to you, you know it's the truth. You know, when you see something happens.
Wait, let's clarify that, because you're saying God, but when we say God, are we talking about the way things that naturally just become?
Yeah, it could be something physical. It could be you telling me something, but it could be you telling me something, but that's God working through you. But or it could just be he comes
something to that's inevitable, basically, that happens naturally.
That shows you something where you know without a doubt this is the truth. Yeah, and I think he trusts you with it, and
like the angel numbers,
and that works in your favour a lot when like as a pro, because we're talking about if it's a pro or not.
Yeah.
If God trusts you with the truth and you're responsible with it, it can work in your favour. I think 100%.
100%. All right, I'll give you one then. I think a con. Are we doing all pros first, or are we doing one of each?
No, whatever. Yeah, let's just do whatever.
All right, I'll say a con of it is sometimes telling the people the truth can make people turn against you.
Yeah. 100%.
And they try and make you look like the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's very concerning in today's society, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because it means that if people are grouped together, maybe committing the same sin, and I say sin with the most respect, because I'm not trying to be godly here. I'm trying to say like something that's against moral ethics.
And we want to do better. Like, no one's perfect, but we're trying to be better people.
Right, it's like, we all need to stop smoking. We all know it's bad for us, but then there'll be a couple of us, we need to get rid of it, man. What do you mean you don't want to stop smoking? Or drinking, or whatever drugs it may be, or whatever paraphernalia or bad habit it is. There'll be a group of them that want to do it, and there'll be one that we see and it's destroying them. But
and deep down they know it's not. They don't want to be doing it. Yeah,
but they're not ready to change it, so they'll chuck away the one that's actually saying something good. And I think that's what's most worrying. Like I said about society, is that people can group together to shut down a morally ethic person who's making sure everyone does better. Just
trying to make everyone do better, yeah. But that makes people very uncomfortable.
Well, I don't know.
But it's surprising how, because when if you were to think about it, like, surely from a logical perspective, you would want to do better.
Of course.
So why would that make you uncomfortable? But it's because like we're humans, innit? Like,
that's definitely a deeper subject one right there.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll give you a pro. I'll give you a pro one now, and you can give me a con.
Go on.
Being held morally with moral conduct, being held, being put, not put on a pedestal. I'd say like being respected because you are so truthful and honest and sincere.
People know, they can tell.
People start to think that you're noble, and they start to ask you for help, and you open up so many people's lives. Like the other day I helped someone, because obviously I do contract law, right? So I took on my first case properly. Like I've took a couple of cases on before, but this one took a proper case, and the person was nearly crying because of the pressure that was getting put on them. But the person was using cognitive dissonance to get away with it. Like, oh no, but I've done this and this has happened. So I put my foot down and was like, no, you need some tough love right now. Like, if I let you advocate the space, you're just gonna lose yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you need to like step in.
You need to be told that no, like get up and do what you need to do. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Make that phone call, do this. And it worked out for them the best. They've got all of their stuff sorted by 3:00 in the afternoon, and it was chilled for the next day when they got their nails done. So,
and they probably appreciated that.
Of course, she looks up to me now. Like
in the moment, it might seem a bit like
she was crying and stuff. Like it was upsetting for her. It was distressing. But after the distress and after that little bit of, I've got to fight myself for this. Then it all turned out for the better. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And it was like, man. I think sometimes that's what a pro. Do you want to give me a con?
That's 100% a pro. Yeah, let me think.
Advocator of truth.
Advocator of truth.
What is the pros of and cons of that? We want to con.
Yeah, advocator of truth. I think advocator of truth. I just think like people, they say ignorance is bliss, and I think when you're an advocator of truth and you start to find out certain things, you start to like gain understandings of like things that a lot of people don't have, not in a arrogant way, but like, you know, when you start to understand certain things, it really does affect you, like mentally, physically, everything. Like it can really be a lot to handle.
No, I agree with
and yeah,
that.
some people,
that's why I hit the button as
and
well.
It almost does sound arrogant, yeah. You hit the button. What was the button? Was it a sound?
Yeah, but I had to, because you're right. I feel that one. Go on.
Yeah. No, but it's and if it, like saying this even it does sound arrogant. It's saying like, what, you trying to act like you know things people don't know. But then it's like,
but you kind of do.
You kind of do, like certain things you can see when you know certain things. You can see when other people don't know that, because they'll say things where if you knew what I know, you wouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, you wouldn't be behaving like
those
that.
Those words would not be exiting your mouth.
100%, yeah, I feel
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know that you don't know this, and I do happen to know this, and then I'm like, but yeah, it's uncomfortable knowing these things, because it's like,
because then you're left kind of stranded.
Yeah, and it's like weight, innit? You're carrying around this weight with you, and it's like, just handling it is like, it can be a lot sometimes.
Because you got to put up other people's nonsense, really.
Yeah, and other people, like, when they don't get it, then they look at you like you're mad. They're like, what the fuck? Like, you're saying some weird shit, and I'm like, bro.
I feel you still. I feel you.
I
mean, that brings me to like, is fact and truth the same thing then?
Oh yeah, I think we spoke about this. Did we speak about this?
Well, I think we did briefly touch on it, but fact and truth are two different words with two different meanings, but I guess they kind of have an entwining.
Yeah, they're definitely connected.
Yeah, they've got a similar thing, and that brings me, if you're using facts and truth with people that are not ready for it, and you're there. I mean, that brings us to my next subject, which is perfect actually, which is boundaries and self-awareness.
Oh wait, I just deeped one. Yeah, no, this is so deep, because you're talking about the difference between facts and truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will use facts to manipulate the truth, because the facts, like how I see it, is the fact is the surface level.
Yeah.
So I say like the fact of the matter is, like, let's say you're a construction worker, yeah?
Yeah.
The fact is that you are a construction worker.
Yeah.
But then the truth is that there's a whole reason behind why you're a construction worker. There's a whole journey and a path that led you to being a construction worker, and that's the truth. Like, that's the whole meaning and the reasoning behind it all. But then the fact is just the surface. So the people might use the surface one to make it look like the truth was something else to what it actually was.
Okay.
Because they can say this is the surface. They can say this is the surface. It must have been this that led me here, but it wasn't that, because they took the other route.
Okay.
But the surface. So the fact.
The fact.
No, this is mad.
The fact that, for me, that would mean the fact is the plan when you commit to it.
Okay.
That when you actually get it. Wait. We're gonna move on to the next subject, because we're gonna get too deep.
Yeah, we're getting
we're gonna end up, me and you we'll start clashing, cuz you get me on certain subjects.
We were like, we'll just list the pros and cons and not go into detail, and then we just get carried away. Yeah.
Right, so like I said, it leads us into our next subject, which is boundaries and self-awareness. Yeah, and that's what fact and truth, in the way that you are, led me to. Yeah. So we're going with, I mean, boundaries and self-awareness. Should we Google the word, what it means? Do we need to do that?
Boundaries and self-awareness.
I mean,
yeah, go on then. I mean, I sort of feel
I thought we got that. We got the gist of that.
Should we just clarify what we think it is?
Yeah.
So boundaries is what, like, certain
certain barriers that you don't allow people to get past, so you don't get yourself into a situation that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, basically just
setting principles
and an expectation of, like, if you're gonna be a person that I'm actually friends with or whatever, then you have to respect that boundary.
Yeah, of course. But you can only have them with self-awareness.
Oh, Yeah, so then otherwise you're setting a boundary without even...
Well, you wouldn't know what your boundaries are if you're not self-aware. Unless you're going to base them on what people have told you, like, oh, you must brush your teeth in the morning, or, you know, but then you go to other cultures and you see, like, other
But then it's not actually your
other,
boundary, it's someone else.
Someone else's boundary, so it's not self-awareness. The only way you can have a boundary that's not without self-awareness is through someone else's philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, the point I'm making is I got a good example is other cultures do things differently. So you might cook in England, say, a little bit of seasoning on your chicken, bit of salt and pepper. You won't wash it. No, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying, just culturally, some people in Britain are not taught to season their chicken. Even in today's society, in this day and age right now, some people don't put flavour on their food. I think they don't understand what seasoning is, and because there's not a lot of nuts and seeds here that you can use and herbs.
Yeah, and I think their taste is kind of also...
It's become bland because they haven't got them it's not rude like that. I'm being real.
No, yeah.
Because they haven't got that. Because they haven't got these exotic, herbs, seeds, and all of these things like
ingredients.
They don't understand what it is that's in there. They just see grounded powder and thinking, yeah, that's what we're meant to. That's what we're basically meant to use. That's what them people are using. We don't know what's in there. We've got things like paprika in like all-purpose seasoning. There's things like paprika, dried onion, things like that.
Yeah, whole lot in there.
That's what comes up on it. So it's basically like you just putting veggies on there and stuff, but it's just more containable and doesn't go off.
Yeah. And there's flavours in it. Like,
exactly, but that's the point I'm making, is that even without self-awareness, you can't have boundaries, and other cultures do things differently. So they have different boundaries and different ways of being. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Like someone might be able to talk to you rudely in African.
And they won't take it personal, they'll just do it.
But in England, they'll be like, what? You can't just talk to me.
Yeah. Or everyone says that in England we're so polite, everyone says the please and thank yous.
Please and thank you. We say
a lot of
sorry
cultures,
a lot.
Yeah, a lot of cultures don't do that, and it's not
that.
like they're rude or anything. They're just not used to doing this whole sorry, thank you, everything.
Exactly,
like,
exactly that.
The classic one is when you walk in past someone or something, you're just trying to get past. You be like, oh sorry. Like you just say sorry by default. Like I'm not actually apologizing to you. Like, I'm trying to get past.
No, it's true. I've done it myself.
I'm trying to get past. I'm just like, oh sorry. Like it's not an apology. It's just that's how we move, innit?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's more of a polite thing, like to say, like I didn't mean
that,
that, or
I'm just trying to get through.
Or just can you excuse me, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way we're touching on this. I mean, like, when it comes to like boundaries, is a short subject for me because it doesn't go nowhere without self-awareness. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And that for me is probably the biggest part of it, because
self-awareness.
We've got such a subject there. Like self-awareness is like learning yourself, learning the realm around you and how you fit in it. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And it's like, especially for me as well, like I feel like I'm at the being there that people don't even understand, because I'm so aware of myself and my surroundings. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, for me, it's difficult because now I've done my research in the right place. I think that my brain, I think you'd agree as well, has got quite a high IQ in a way. I think intricately about things.
100%, you're a smart guy.
For me, it's hard because people don't understand certain things, and they, like I said to you earlier, even if you show it to them in their face, put it on a piece of paper,
they don't want to believe it.
They don't want to go into that.
Yeah.
So, like, I think a lot of people are humiliated as well, not by knowing certain things, so they don't try any things that are new. So that's part of it as well. But being self-aware of yourself is so important, because it shows you how you like to wake up in the morning, how you like to eat food, how you like to drink, how you like to... And that makes you get in a position to set boundaries.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Would you say you're self-aware of yourself?
I think I'm quite self-aware.
You think?
But I still got more, like, to learn, innit? But in terms of just, like I evaluate myself quite a lot. Like, I look at myself and I think about what it is I did. So when I'm wrong, a lot of times, in the moment, I might not realise I'm wrong, but I'm going to look back on that and I'm going to realise if I was wrong. Like, I'm going to think, even if no one tells me, like, you don't need to tell me.
Accountability, basically.
Yeah, bro, like I'll reflect on what I do all the time, and I just think, you know what, nah, I shouldn't have done that. Like, I should have done this instead. And it's like, when you start to reflect on yourself like that, that's when you start to learn, like, your shortcomings as well. Like, what is the reason why I did that? I did that because I had this thinking pattern, or I did that because I thought I had this mentality, and then I'm like, okay, you know what, that mentality, I need to kind of fix it up a bit. So even if and self-awareness doesn't even mean that you like or no, I think it has a lot to do with just like understanding your shortcomings.
We're gonna have a break for 2 seconds, just while we get the cameras back on.
Little technical difficulties.